Good afternoon, everyone. How are you? It has been 1 month. I missed you guys. Great to see you back. Welcome back. I hope you had a nice break and refreshed yourselves. Had a nice Easter. The weather was nice, wasn't it? Very, very nice indeed. So let's get started. Today's lecture, in this sunny, great weather, today we'll be here with the boring lecture. Okay, so I want you to have a look at what we covered already. If you want to take notes, please choose an action and take note quickly. Okay, the next slide, again, choose an action, take note. And the next one, choose an action, take note. Okay, so in this nice sunny weather, welcome to the boring lecture, okay? So why is it called the boring lecture? Because the weather is nice, yeah, let's be honest. It sucks to be here, but how can we get out of boredom? Today, that's what I will cover. How can we get out of the rut, get out of boredom? So I have some exercises in order to help you to achieve that. Boredom strikes when we let our habits, routines control us. When there are too many rigid habits and you feel trapped in a box, then you feel bored. Lectures are inherently boring. Slides are often recipes for mediocrity. So it takes courage, experimentation to get out of what is boring. So what can you do? I will try to escape boring by embracing uncertainty, exploration. You can incorporate magic into your life through the power of curiosity. You have to be curious in order to create magic in your job, in your life. Yesterday, I actually have written an article on Medium about this. How can you incorporate magic into your life? If you check my Medium, you can read it. So, to escape boredom, you can write, take notes, doodle, reflect, make materials relevant for yourself, and identify some action points for yourself. So, it's all about surprising yourself, turning everything into play, curiosity, adventure. What happened yesterday? Yeah, so if you are bored, buy a company. And he paid how much? 44 billion. This was his letter to Twitter. I invested in Twitter because I believe in its potential to be the platform for free speech around the globe. I realized the company will neither thrive nor serve this societal imperative in its current form. So it needs to be transformed into a private company. As a result, I'm offering to buy 100% of it, $54 per share in cash. My offer is the best and my final offer. And if it is not accepted, I would need to reconsider my position as a shareholder. As you know, he was 9% shareholder of Twitter, and he declared that he would go out of Twitter completely if they don't accept his bid. And what did they do? They started a poison bill, right? But that poison bill did not work. And this was the logical decision for Twitter. It made sense financially. It's a great offer. It doesn't make so much sense for Elon Musk in a financial sense, I think. Twitter, it doesn't make that much money. It is, I think, for public good, he believes. So this was his tweet yesterday evening. So he has big plans. Of course, he's firing the board. That's first action, right? He stops paying money to them. Yeah, but what else? He wants to make algorithms open source, defeat the spam bots, and authenticate all humans. But also, it's all about free speech, he says. I hope my worst critics remain on Twitter because this is what free speech means, he declared. Okay, what else? To escape from boredom, you can escape into the metaverse. It's exploding. I have read a lot about metaverse during this break, Easter break. I recommend you watch this movie if you haven't watched it yet. Ready Player One.
My name's Wade Watts. My dad picked that name because it sounded like a superhero's alter ego, like Peter Parker or Bruce Banner. But he died when I was a kid, my mom too. And I ended up here, sitting here in my tiny corner of nowhere. There's nowhere left to go. Nowhere. Except the oasis. A whole virtual universe. Let me take you on a trip around the world and back. People come to the Oasis for all the things they can do. But they stay because of all the things they can be.
Can you feel this?
Yeah. It's the only place that feels like I mean anything. The Oasis was the brainchild of James Halliday.
Hello, if you're watching this, I'm dead. I created a hidden object, an Easter egg. The first person to find the egg will inherit $500 billion and total control of the Oasis itself.
Who is this Parzival, and how the hell is he winning?
Find him. This isn't just a game. I'm talking about actual life and death stuff.
The Oasis, the world's most important economic resource. And it's nothing less than a war for control of the future.
Welcome to the rebellion, Wade.
Like many of you, I only came here to escape. But I found something much bigger than just myself. Are you willing to fight?
Help us save the Oasis.
So, this is like a crash course into the metaverse. So watch it if you haven't. What can you do in the metaverse? You can play in infinite universes, enjoy concerts, work. Our careers will be there in a couple of years. Buy, interact with brands, buy amphithes. This is the amphithe marketplace. There are many virtual museums opening up, yeah? You can watch its evolution, these computer games. You can socialize, interact with other people. So what are some key trends? It is soon reaching $800 billion by 2024. $800 billion, it's a huge industry, but it will grow much faster as well. All the big players are investing in it. Facebook turned its name to Meta, yeah. Google is investing in it, Apple is investing, but also there are Web 3.0 companies, such as Decentraland or Sandbox, that are investing in this space. So it is a growing large ecosystem. If you have a look, it's a quite complicated ecosystem that we have here. We have infrastructure companies, artificial intelligence companies, payment companies, Cryptocurrencies are there, NFTs, digital art, universes, different universes, avatars and identities. So it's quite an expanding universe. And 2022 will be the gold rush, the year of gold rush for Metaverse. People are paying for millions for land in the Metaverse. Why? Read why. You can learn a lot why they do this. What happened? In Decentraland, Decentraland is the fashion district in the Metaverse. Okay? So in Decentraland, there is a fashion district, and all these top fashion brands opened virtual stores there. Gucci, Prada. So what happened was, one of the global companies bought $2.4 million of estate in that Decentraland fashion district, which is a huge revolution, of course. These are real dollars, not virtual. They spend a lot of money, real investment, in this virtual land. What else happened? Gucci sold its bag for more than 4,000. This is a digital bag in the Metaverse. So this was in Roblox. So its price exceeded the real price of the bag. That was historical. So people pay more for the virtual bag than the real bag, which is a turning point in history. What else? Sandbox. In Sandbox, one of the biggest land sales have occurred. What happened? Republic Realm. It's the digital real estate company, they bought 4.3 million land in Sandbox, in the Sandbox universe. This is the most popular one. Sandbox is the most popular one. Many people are buying land there. Justin Bieber gave first concert in the Metaverse. What else? Snoop Dogg, rapper, he built a virtual digital twin of his estate, his mansion, in Sandbox, in the Sandbox Amphitheater Metaverse. So he established Snoopverse, which is a huge deal. Why? It is a marketplace as well. Somebody paid $450,000 to be a neighbor to Snoop Dogg in the Metaverse, which is another historical event. Why do you pay $500,000 in a virtual land to be a neighbor to Snoop Dogg in that Snoopverse? I mean, this is like ridiculous, but these things happen. These are real news, guys. What else happened? Snoop Dogg released the first Metaverse music video. This again happened in the break. So what if virtual real estate became a reality in tomorrow's Metaverse? Think of the Metaverse. It is like 1800s California. There is a golden rush. Think of Manhattan land before it became Manhattan. Why are people rushing, flocking to this? Because they want to get advantages in the future, because they know that these Metaverse universes, real estate, will be much more valuable, probably. But it might also go to zero. You never know. Remember the dot-com era, 1999, the first era of the internet. Thousands of companies, dot-com startups, flocking to internet. Nobody knows what internet is, yeah, and what it will do. And many companies went bankrupt. So similar things will happen in the Metaverse as well. We are witnessing a similar gold rush, but don't invest your life savings into the Metaverse. It is too risky, too fragile, I think. But there are also, know that there are also enormous opportunities. If you have some money that you can risk losing, it's a very smart investment to invest in the metaverse. Workers in Philippines, they make $2,000 a month by playing Axie Infinity, which is another blockchain metaverse. So they are making real money to make a living. How can you invest into metaverse? There are 4 ways. You can buy stocks of these companies, such as Sandbox, Decentraland, Roblox, Fortnite, or you can buy cryptocurrencies or currencies in these metaverses. You can buy land in the metaverse, or you can buy non-fungible tokens. So these are 4 ways to invest in the metaverse. Seoul became the first city to enter the metaverse. Koreans are always advanced, futuristic, so Seoul became the first capital in the world to enter the metaverse. And you can read more. What will metaverse clothing travel will look like? Facebook announced 10,000 jobs in the metaverse in Europe. 10,000 jobs in Europe, just in Europe. Not in the United States, just in Europe, they said we will hire 10,000 people for the metaverse. These are metaverse jobs, people. Real dollar paying, real jobs, not virtual jobs. Dolly 2.0, what is this? This immersed. This is an artificial intelligence system. You describe something and it draws in 1 second. You can say an astronaut riding a horse in a photorealistic style. It will generate it immediately. This is artificial intelligence. Why is this critical? Because when you tell these words, artificial intelligence can create them immediately for the metaverse. So we are getting closer and closer to metaverse every day. Beeple sold an NFT, you know this, right? For $69 million, which means the non-fungible token economy is ripe. Millions of dollars are being sold in the metaverse. And many artists have started creating their own non-fungible tokens to adapt to this new era. You can create your virtual art gallery in CryptoVoxels. If you go to CryptoVoxel or Decentraland, you can open virtual art gallery with all your non-fungible tokens inside, which is a huge trend right now. Virtual humans emerge as a major trend in the metaverse. The global digital human avatar market will reach 527 billion by 2030, which is a huge market, as you can see. Let's look at the most valuable stuff. Still gold is at the top, right? Gold is at the top. Then Apple comes, Microsoft, petroleum, it will decline, hopefully. Amazon, Alphabet, and then silver, and then Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is number 8, and it will probably rise because all these virtual operations and metaverse operations, they rely on 2 things. 1, Bitcoin, and 2nd, Ethereum. So you can expect that in the long term, Bitcoin as well as Ethereum will rise tremendously. Goldman Sachs reported Metaverse will be $8 trillion opportunity. This is a report from Goldman Sachs. These are the wicked finance guys. They know the future because they are investing in it. So they are investing in the metaverse because they see a huge opportunity there. Citi says metaverse economy could be worth $13 trillion by 2030. So Citi is even growing the market a bit more. And Matthew Ball, CEO of Venture Capital, he says the value of metaverse economy will be between 10 to 30 trillion within the next decade. So it may rise up to 30 trillion, which is like enormous, gigantic. Why? Because the world economy is around $90 trillion, right? So this means 1/3 of the world economy will emerge from the metaverse, which when you think about it, like it is crazy. It is crazy to think about it. Like, so that means another world economy is being generated right now with the power of artificial intelligence and non-fungible tokens and blockchain, and they're all coming together in the metaverse. And that's the future. And that's your future. Be ready for it. Ten predictions on the future of the metaverse. This was a great report. I uploaded it to your Blackboard. You can read it. The most important point is number one, Mars landing. Hopefully, the first human will land on Mars by 2026. Hopefully, fingers crossed. And when that happens, we will be there with our avatars, witnessing that historical event through our avatars in the digital twin of Mars. Think about that. And that will be like a historical moment, like the moon landing. You know, when the moon landing happened, everybody bought television for the first time. This was 1969. The same will happen with the metaverse. Millions of people will be flocking to the metaverse to witness this Mars landing in person through the avatar in that realm, which is a huge, exciting moment for humanity. And there will be other predictions, you can read them. All are in the report. So I included some articles about anxiety and fear. When you feel anxious, stressed out, please do these exercises. I prepared them for you. But the most important thing is you worry too much. We worry too much. The things that we worry about, think what you will think about them next year after 12 months. After 12 months, you will not be worrying about any of them. You will be forgetting. These are like small issues many of the time. Much of the time, you worry about small issues. It is like a fly, very small issues. It's like a fly, but you see it as a big dinosaur. That problem, you know, you make it bigger by worrying about it. So ask yourself, what will I think about this problem in 12 months? And let me tell you the answer. You will not worry about it at all, at all. Why? I look at my diaries from last year. The things that I was worried about last year, I worried too much. It turns out I worried about them too much. There was no need to create so much anxiety, stress. You understand it retrospectively when you are over. When you're experiencing difficulties, you overstress, worry a lot. Don't worry a lot. Just go through these exercises, do them, and really worry about your long-term future. Where will you be in 2030? When you will be working, playing in the metaverse, where will you be? Worry about that. So let's say you have some hardships, difficulties, challenges. I want you to look at this poster and choose, what do you tell yourself? Choose the things that will be useful for you. Do you need to hear these things? Go over these. Do you need to tell these to yourself? The world out there is brutal. Yes, it is unfair. Yes, we all know that. But you need to create your own systems to deal with it. There will be difficulties, hardships, for sure. But how will you deal with them? Go over the poster. Okay, wrap it up. Every time you fail, follow these 13 steps. I also wrote an article on this. You can check out my Medium. 13 steps. I want you to go over. Let's say you failed. What will you do? How do you think about that? Follow these steps. Which one do you think is most helpful out of these 13? Have a look. How do you need to see failures? We need to change our relationship with failures. I did this most of the time. I mean, I still feel uncomfortable when I fail. I still feel sad, yeah, it sucks. But I'm aware of these 13 points. I try to implement them in my life. And that's what you should do as well. And the best way to go through failures is to have a lot of them. If you have a lot of failures under your belt, then you can say, yes, I'm anti-fragile. I'm anti-fragile. I failed so many times. Nothing can surprise me. You know, I'm protected. I tell this to myself all the time. Why? Because I created, in the last 2 years, I created more than 600 YouTube videos. Imagine that. None of them went viral. All of them are failures. Nobody watches the videos. Okay, they are in Turkish, by the way. So, I created 460 Medium articles as of today, in the last 2 years. 460 articles. I wrote almost every day. Almost all of them are failures because none of them went viral again. None of them were read by millions. So I'm accustomed to that. I already have close to 1,000 failures on these two platforms. So nobody can prevent me. Nobody can make me weaker. I'm accustomed to that. I can generate 1,000 more articles and nothing can harm me because I'm psychologically so strong. I failed so many times. You see, that's the power of failures. You fail so many times that you became immune to it. Then that's a powerful recipe because then nobody can stop you, nobody. Your worst fear, your worst enemy is within yourself. If you can beat that, then you don't need to worry about anything else. Okay. Morning routine. Do these 6 things. Are you doing these things? Silence, meditation, affirmations, visualization, exercise, reading, and journaling. These don't have to take long. You can do all of them in half an hour. Half an hour is enough to do all of these things. Up to 1 hour. So do them in the morning if you want to increase the quality of your life. And make sure you have these 4 components in your daily life: dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphin. I want you to rate yourself. Do you have each of them enough in your life, in your daily life? Out of 10, 10 is perfect, 0 is I don't have any of it. Okay? Rate yourself between 0 and 10. Where are you in each of them? Dopamine, do you take enough dopamine? This is mostly about challenge, curiosity. Oxytocin, this is about relationships mostly, nature. Serotonin, this is about, again, nature, walking, swimming, exercising, cycling. And endorphin, this is about happiness, laughter, dark chocolate, things like that. Okay? So which one do you think do you need the most? Are you neglecting any of these? Okay. Make a list of things that you can do in your own time. What can you do? I want you to identify something new, maybe 2 or 3 new things that you aren't doing. You can choose from the list or create your own list. What can you do that will stimulate your creativity? Okay. To escape boredom, invest in hobbies. Elon Musk started a hobby company to solve the problem of traffic. So in his free time, as a hobby, he solves traffic. This hobby company is valued at $16 billion. What is the name of this company? Boring Company. Boring lecture, boring company, yeah? So how does it work?
Over Elon Musk's new company, The Boring Company, which revealed their ambitious tunneling project. The Boring Company is setting out to build a 3D network of tunnels to alleviate transportation congestion. Elon Musk struggles with traffic in Los Angeles and wants to change the way people travel by removing the stress of waiting in traffic. Street-level elevators will move cars down to a tunnel, at which point the car skate that the car was lowered down on will navigate through the tunnel. No driving required. As soon as this project takes off, it'll be good to be an elevator technician. The car skate that your car will be traveling on in the tunnel can reach top speeds of 200 kilometers per hour or 124 miles per hour. Elon Musk has started the Boring Company as a hobby, more or less, and has purchased some used boring equipment. The Boring Company takes 2 to 3% of his time and is worked on by some interns and part-time by some Tesla staff. The Boring Company has a pet.
It has a pet called Snail, and they want to surpass the snail. What else? He's also working on Hyperloop.
Elon Musk, the billionaire behind Tesla Motors and SpaceX, wants to revolutionize public transport. In 2017, he held an event at SpaceX's California headquarters, showcasing the latest technology for what he believes is the future of intercity travel, an entirely new transport system called Hyperloop.
What this is really all about is advancing the state of transportation, trying new things that have never been done before that can make an incredible difference to people's lives.
But is Hyperloop ready to usher in a new age of mass transit? Or is it just a billionaire's pipe dream?
What else? Read and learn exciting things. So what we did with my wife was we took a book, 30 days, 30 books in 30 days. So we created this challenge, 30 days, 30 books challenge on Instagram. And many of our friends also joined the challenge. And can you finish a book in one day? Yes, you can. You can quickly skim through it. And you don't have to read from the start to the end. You can just skim through it, get the idea very quickly. So Warren Buffett says, read 500 pages like this every week. That's how knowledge builds up. It builds up like compound interest. So here's my suggestion for you. Read 100 books every year, at least. Minimum 100 books every year. That's how you will accumulate knowledge. So I created this challenge. I'm doing it this year again. I finished reading at least 100 books, yes, last year. So reading is like a job. It is like breathing. It's not a hobby. It's a requirement. So the strange and beautiful truth about adjacent possible is that its boundaries grow as you explore these boundaries. Each new combination brings new exciting combinations. Think of a house that magically expands when you open each door. Keep opening new doors, eventually you will build a palace. That's how you build knowledge. That's how you invest in yourself. You try to enlarge your palace of knowledge every day. So here's how I did it. You can read my article on this. I keep a fiction book in each room. One book in the kitchen, one book in the lavatory, one book in the living room, one book in my bedroom. Whenever I go to that room, I read a little and put a marker to the next page. That's it. Using this method, I read more than 25 fiction books in just 6 months using this method. It makes a huge difference. This is the power of small steps, very small steps. So please create your own reading challenge now. I will finish, let's say, minimum 100 books in 1 year, whatever. Put a deadline. So maybe 2 books every week. So write down your challenge, your plan, reading plan. What will you read about? Come up with some options. Write down in your notebook now. How many books will you be reading? Until when? And on what topic? Please declare it in your notebook and sign it for yourself. This will be like a contract with yourself. Okay. Put a number, put a deadline, sign it. You can even write book reviews. I started writing book reviews on Medium. When I finished the book, I just wrote a review of that book. Unfortunately, I couldn't continue that, but I'm hoping to continue that. But those articles always make a lot of money on Medium as well. So if you are into reading books, review them, publish review articles on Medium. Many people will also benefit from your articles. Think about that. So you can turn this into an asset creation game as well. You learn from the book, you share it with the world, share a summary, share your review, which is ultimately useful for other people as well. Okay, to escape boredom, look at outliers. Outliers are very interesting in life. Always search for outliers. Is it possible to write 100,000 words in one day? Chavez attempted it. He ended up writing 55,000 words in one day. You can read the challenge here. He broadcasted it live. I watched it live. It was like 2 years ago, I think, or 3 years ago, yeah. He did it live, and he created a book from scratch in just one day. It was a book about taking a sabbatical. How can you take an effective sabbatical? And he created the book on live, streaming it live. He just talked it, and there was a voice recognition software which put it into writing. That's how he did it. And you can watch it, read it. Is it possible to try out 52 jobs in 52 weeks? Yes, this guy did it. It's a documentary.
So, what are you going to do with your life?
One man is taking an unusual approach to uncovering his passion.
We're told so much growing up. Find your passion, and that is the secret.
Find something that you're passionate about.
Follow your passion. Passion. Get active and be proactive about doing something. If you don't know what to do, well, don't, just sit around and wonder what to do. Do something.
Jobs in 52 weeks to find my passion.
It's the greatest concept on the face of the planet.
It's a crazy idea.
It was an idea that was just not possible.
I have no idea what awaits me and where this project's going to take me, but I got to take the leap.
Ready, here we go.
Right now, I think a lot of people are coming to school with no clue whether the degree they just took really applies to their interests and really what can they do with it.
This week I'm a Hollywood producer,
snowshoe guide assistant,
real estate agent, fashion buyer. I'm starting a new day, Monday morning.
It's the people that make the experience special.
I'm 59 years old and I'm...
Okay, so what else? Expand what your sense of possible is. India. He's known as the mountain man. He single-handedly carved a road through a mountain. He lost his wife because of lack of medical treatment. So he carved this road himself. How long did it take for him to do this? Any guess? He carves a mountain. Come on, for God's sake. 22 years. 22 years. How long do you think it is possible to live on London buses at night? You don't have a home. Imagine that you are homeless and you are to be deported. But if they deport you to your country, you will be killed. Imagine this is your situation. Your only choice is to survive in London. That's your only choice. How long do you think can you live on the buses? 1 year? "21 years of sleeping on London buses. 21 years. This is a real story. BBC, you can read this. And it's a real life story. Terminal. Remember the movie? This was real. The movie is based on the life of a real person. Who was this person? Real name. Not Tom Hanks, right? What was the real name of that person? He lived in France airport for 18 years. Yeah, Mehran Karimi Nasri. So he lived in the airport for 18 years. Is it possible to plant a forest by yourself? Yes, of course it is possible, yeah? He created a whole forest, Yadev Payeng, by himself. So write your own manifesto. What do you wish to do with your life? I want you to create some ideas in your notebook now. Create your own manifesto. What can you do that is an outlier, something crazy, something that only you can do? What is it? Okay, wrap it up. Just create some initial ideas for now. You can continue later, of course. Okay, to escape boredom, hunt and find interesting ideas. Here is how you find them. 10 unexpected places to find interesting ideas. Have a look. What's the significance of this picture? Do you know this picture? Anyone? Maybe you've seen it in the news. This is called Station Squabble. It depicts two mice fighting in London Tube Station. It was taken by Sam Rowley, and he won Wildlife Photographer of the Year award by this picture. So he won a Wildlife Photographer of the Year award with a city picture. Okay, let's do the next challenge, writing. I want you to complete this story. Although she was settled in her life, she felt more restless than ever. She was yearning for change. She felt there was something in the air, something different on that day. She woke up very early and left the house. What happens next? Write it. You have 3 minutes to do this. Please complete the story. Keep writing. Move your hands. Use a pencil, pen if you can. Okay, wrap it up, please. Okay. The next challenge, to escape boredom, use the immense power of your mind. Here's a puzzle. Which technologies or inventions do we owe to Einstein and his theories? Any guesses? Can you think of some technologies that we owe to Einstein and his theories? Any guess? Think of Einstein as the person who lays the tracks for the railroad so that all the trains can go on these blocks, right? He's like laying the tracks. And all these trains are the inventions, right? So theory is the basis. It's like the railroad. You have to have theory, and then you can build on it, right? So why is theory so critical? So we have these inventions due to Einstein: television, radar guns, nuclear power, solar panels, GPS systems, satellites, stock market investing, weather forecasting, automatic doors, burglar alarms, digital cameras, DVD players, scanners, laser eye surgery, and many more, many more. So you can't just say, Einstein, he did some theories and that stuff, and yeah, we owe all of these technology and more due to his genius. Come on. Theory is everything. If you have the right theory, you can change the world. Okay. To escape boredom, move, take an action. These are the voices in your head. We all have our inner bully. We have an inner bully living in our head, rent-free. That voice lives there rent-free. Doesn't pay any rent to you. But always talks and talks and talks and talks, and always negative talk. You need to find a way to shut that inner voice. How do you deal with that inner voice? How do you deal with it? You need to learn that. All these voices, how can you stop them? Think of some actions to stop them. The best way is to start writing, creating something new. If you start doing it silently, that's the best protest against this resistance. The resistance will always be there, but you can best overcome it by action. Typing up something in your computer, that is a protest. You are resisting against the resistance. That's how you gain momentum. There is a book on this, The War of Art, if you want to read, The War of Art. It's all about how you deal with your inner resistance. Because if you want to be creative, if you want to write, create something new, you have to deal with it. The moment that you have an instinct to act on a goal, the moment that you have an instinct, you must count from 5 to 0 and physically move out to do that, or your brain will stop you. So you have just 5 seconds. Mel Robbins says this is the 5-second rule. Let's say you have a new idea. You have an inspiration. Oh, I can do this. You have to act in 5 seconds. If you cannot, then it's lost forever. This is such a powerful theory, by the way. I implemented it in my life. Whenever I start acting in 5 seconds, I win it. I create an article, I create something new, I create something that I will be proud of. But if I don't act in 5 seconds, then I lose it forever. How can you implement this in your life? Think about that. So I want you to look at these posters from my notebooks. And what can you do in order to take action? What sort of actions do you wish to take? Think about your asset creation journeys as well. What are you creating? How can you create it more effectively? For example, I'm writing a new book. I will tell you about it next week. Okay? I created a book, as you know, the squash book. Yeah, it's out there. Now I'm working on another book, and I will put it out there very soon, maybe in June. I will update you next week. Yeah. So I always act, create something new. So that's what you should do as well. Don't think too hard. Just jump into action. Okay, so you can look at these, but I also wrote an article for you, how to design your environment and habits for 10 times success. How can you do that? Again, read this article to learn more. In this article, I put together these exercises. Remember, I mentioned these, but if you haven't done these, please do these. For each area in your life, you need to formulate a small action, minimum action, and then design your environment, make it easy to act hassle-free. So let's say you want to start writing. How much will you write every day? Let's say just 10 minutes. So don't break the chain. Write for 10 minutes every day. But also design your environment so that it is distraction-free. You have all what you need for writing. The same for exercise, the same for reading, learning, all the other good habits. So if you want to establish good habits, then implement this framework. What is the minimum action? Take that small action and make your environment conducive to that action. Design your environment mindfully. Okay? To escape boredom, create life lessons. What are the top 10 lessons of your life? Please write them down. Maybe for now, create 3 lessons. What are your top 3 lessons that you learned in your life? Write them down. Top 3 lessons. You can create 10 lessons when you go home. But for now, let's start with 3, top 3. Okay, finish. Create your lessons. Write them down. Okay, here are my lessons, 10 lessons I have learned. Have a look at these lessons. Which one do you like best? Maybe choose top 3. Okay. Wrap it up. Okay, to escape boredom, explore yourself. The most remarkable part of you is your DNA. You have 1 meter of DNA, packed into every cell. And so many cells that if you form all your DNA in your body into a single fine strand, it would stretch 10 billion miles to beyond Pluto. So it would extend to all the solar system, that DNA, your DNA. So you are, in the most literal sense, cosmic. You are a cosmic being. So your DNA extends from here to Pluto and beyond. Think about that. And this is biological. It is from the quote, The Body, a guide for occupants. The Body. Who is the author of this book? Bill Bryson is a bestseller, and this is the book, A Guide for Occupants. You are the occupant of your body, so you need to learn more. It is a great book, by the way. I loved reading this. To escape boredom, learn about the future. How do you become a trillionaire? So if 7 billion people each spend $143, then this will yield $1 trillion. Peter Diamandis says, if you want $1 billion, help 1 billion people. So to be a $1 trillion company, you need to produce 100 more value than today's companies, 100 times more value. So you need something rapidly scalable, global, strong demand, transportable, highly profitable, very influential, and disruptive. This will be something like the Metaverse, right? So Metaverse is one of the sectors, of course, where everything will come together. What else? Cryptocurrencies. These are the currencies of the Metaverse, right? And this is one of the huge growth sectors. Money is being disrupted. Money will disappear from the earth. All what you will have, in 10 years, it will be cryptocurrencies, digital money, asteroid mining. Those who mine asteroids will be trillionaires. Instant learning. Imagine that, like the Matrix, the movie Matrix, you get a pill and you learn it immediately. Learn about, like, imagine the power of that. You get a pill and you digest it. When you digest it, you immediately learn. Is this possible? It might be in the future. So we educators will be like drug dealers. Kidding. But why is this such a big deal? Because this is nanobiotechnology. Think about that. Nanobiorobots, brain-machine interfaces. In your brain, you can download things through these nanobio methods. There will be neural laces in your brain, let's say. So learning will become much, much easier. Internet of Things, devices will be talking to one another, right? Amazon Alexa will be the brain of your smart home and order everything. Cure for aging, longevity. So each and every person paying $10 a day to make aging stop. How many people would choose it? Again, if you think about it, this is one of the biggest sectors. Google is investing into Calico, longevity. And there is a firm, I read about it, in California, they try to do suspended animation. They freeze the body just after the heart stops, 1 minute after the heart stops. And imagine when this technology becomes perfect, then interstellar travel will be possible, right? You can travel to other star systems, because other star systems, it will take tens of years to go there. But if you have suspended animation, then you can just sleep and freeze yourself and wake up after 50 years. Yeah. What else? Ultra high-speed transportation. Controlling the weather, again, one of the biggest challenges. With climate change, this becomes the biggest challenge that we are ever facing. Somehow, technologies that could allow us to control weather, which is impossible, but at least make things easier. This is a $1 trillion sector. Instant sleep. How many people would be willing to pay $10 to use an instant sleep device? Again, this is a huge sector. Instant disassembling of matter. Human cloning, 3D printed bodies. Personal swarm bots. So think of these as your personal assistants. Robotic services, 3D telepresence avatars. These will be very critical in the metaverse, huge sector. Artificial intelligence, energy storage, it's a huge deal. What else? You can learn about entrepreneurship. Have you seen this? Scrap Daddy?
I'm Aaron Krause from Philadelphia, and I'm known as the daddy of the Scrub Daddy, the cutest but most high-tech scrubbing tool in the world. Today, I'm seeking a $100,000 investment in exchange for 10% equity in the Scrub Daddy business. It's the greatest kitchen scrubbing tool you ever used because Scrub Daddy completely changes its texture by just adjusting your water temperature. Let me show you how that works. Here I've got some hot water, here I've got some cold water. When I immerse the Scrub Daddies in the hot and cold water, a complete transformation occurs. Now, to show you that, I've got 10-pound weights. Here, under the 10 pounds, it's soft and compressible, and that's like a sponge. That's for your gentle scrubbing applications. But here, check that out. It's hard and firm. That's going to be for heavy-duty scrubbing applications. We burned on brownie gravy, tomato sauce, cheese, and mustard onto a glass stovetop and a stainless steel pan. I'm going to take the Scrub Daddy, and you're going to see it's just going to attack right into that burned-on mess, scrubbing it right off. And remember, I'm just using water here. There's no chemicals at all, and it's going to cut right through that. It won't scratch any of your surfaces, but it will clean them beautifully. Now, Scrub Daddy is not really smiling anymore, so I'm going to put him here in the warm water. And in just a couple seconds, voila, he's back to bright, fresh, and clean every time. Sharks, that's not just another smiling face. You put it on your hand, you can get to the bottom and clean the sides in one move. And that smiling mouth, that cleans spoons, knives, forks, spatulas, even large serving spoons on both sides at the same time. Sharks, with your help, Scrub Daddy will be scrubbing and smiling in every kitchen in the world. Sharks.
This guy is the best seller I have ever seen in the world. He became a millionaire. He sold millions of these. He became the richest person that emerged from Shark Tank. Like, he's a billionaire, I think. Okay, amazing lights. Another one.
Hi Sharks, my name is Brian Lim. I'm the founder and CEO of Amazing Lights. Today we're asking for $650,000 for 5% of our company.
Wow.
Sharks, prepare to experience the latest dance craze called gloving.
Face melt.
Cool.
Excellent.
Very cool.
Thank you for the performance, guys. Sharks, it's your turn to join the gloving movement. Gummy, could you please, Lila's going to be handing out your own personalized E-Light Chroma glove sets.
So Brian, how big is gloving a market? Because you've imputed a value on gloving of $13 million because you've asked me for $650,000 for 5%. That is a very big number, and I'm going to assume you have some incredible sales to get me excited about.
Since we started about 4 years ago, we've grossed over $13 million.
Wow.
In this calendar year, how much will you sell?
We're projected for 5.5 million and we are on target.
Whoa.
Okay, watch this. It is the most amazing program. You can learn so much more in just 10 minutes, more than all the textbook that you read. In my view, I'm biased, but like you can learn so much more through Shark Tank. So go to Shark Tank Global. There's a YouTube channel, Shark Tank Global. Make sure you subscribe and watch these videos. You will learn so much more about business, investment, presentations, opportunities, but also marketing. This is essentially the best marketing program out there. It's all about marketing and sales. So I compiled some lessons from Shark Tank. You can check these out. I also included Starbucks, IKEA guy, what can we learn from them? Richard Branson, Warren Buffett, Mr. Bean, what can we learn from them? And the Kardashian empire. It is one of the biggest empires in business. So an entrepreneur jumps off a cliff and then builds a plane on the way down. These are some of the best books on entrepreneurship. If you haven't read them, I would suggest start reading some of these. You will learn so much about entrepreneurship by reading these books. These are some of the best books from the people who have actually done it. These people have actually done it. So what else? Learn about money. Remember Smart Sally, Dumb Dan? Start saving, investing early on. I Will Teach You to Be Rich. This is a great book. You can read it, very simple as well. So want to become a multimillionaire? You need to do these things. So don't live from paycheck to paycheck. You need to jump to the other side. Remember, jump to the asset side. How can you do that? You find out what you are good at, become an expert, increase your active income, but also save money. Buy assets or create assets, and then reinvest your profits so that you can increase your passive income. Make money while you're sleeping. You can create a blog, an app, ebook. Which one would you like to do? Just try out. Create your own digital courses, own products. Start your side hustle. Don't wait for graduation. Start your side hustle right now. And you can use it for your asset creation project. I created this side hustle. Put it in your project. Make your first sale. Okay. Again, which one do you wish to start? Have a look. Is there anything that you would like to do here? These businesses don't require much cash. Which one can you do? Okay. Again, which ones can you do? Choose top 3 for yourself. Passive income. How can you generate passive income? Choose top 3. Okay. So the last part, learn about Mars. So by which year SpaceX aims to send the first astronaut to Mars? 26 if it goes right. How many people does he wish to send to Mars until mid-century? He says 1 million, but it is like impossible, I think. Impossible. Not like he's being aspirational. So he says we will launch 3 Starship rockets every day, and I will be creating a lot of jobs on the red planet. So this is a Forbes article. Will your next job be on Mars? Creativity will be very critical on Mars. Why? Because you need to survive. You need to be very creative. Yeah? So Mars will be a pressure cooker for innovation. Inhabitants will be free to innovate without the bureaucracy on Earth. If you can live, then you can do whatever you want. The only requirement is just to live. If you can pull off living. How long does it take to go there, to Mars? Any guess? Yeah, it takes months, 7 to 8 months. So, but you have a chance every 2 years. You can only go to Mars every 2 years. Why? Because of the eclipses. The Earth and Mars should be aligned. Yeah, so you have a chance every 2 years. If you miss that chance, you have to wait for 2 years. Yeah.
How do you get to Mars? If you want to send a spacecraft all the way to Mars, first you'll need a fast rocket to escape the pull of Earth's gravity. The heavier your spacecraft, the more powerful your rocket needs to be to lift off. Next, make sure you launch at the right time. Mars and Earth orbit the Sun at different speeds and distances. Sometimes they're really far apart, and other times they come closer together. About every 2 years, the 2 planets are in perfect positions to get to Mars with the least amount of rocket fuel. That's important. The total trip is over 300 million miles. Finally, make sure your aim is right. You can't shoot for where Mars is at launch time. You have to aim for where it will be when you get there. It's a lot like how a quarterback passes a football. Also, you may need a few thrusts to correct your direction along the way so you don't miss Mars. If all goes well, you'll get to the red planet in about 7 or 8 months. Then, if you actually want to land on Mars, well, that's a whole other challenge.
How long is 1 year in Mars? Mars year. Any idea? How many days? It's longer, right? Of course it's longer. It is in the outer eclipse, yeah? But how longer? 687 days. So double the Earth. So it is, it takes about 7 months to go there. 1 Mars day is 24 hours, 37 minutes. Gravity is one third of the Earth. So your weight would be 1/3 on Mars. What else? It has 2 moons, Phobos and Deimos. Phobos and Deimos, 2 moons. Temperature is -62. And Mars is home to Olympus Mons, dust storms. Okay, how will people on Mars communicate with people on Earth when they go there? Probably through holoportation and the Metaverse. Again, virtually placing people in the same room in the Metaverse will be the solution. This guy has an excellent talk. Your kids might live on Mars. Here is how they will survive. Watch it if you really want to. If you are interested in the engineering problems of logistics of how we will live on Earth, live on Mars, you need oxygen, you need food, you need to be able to breathe, right? You need to have water. So how do you solve each of these problems? He talks through each of them. It's a great talk. So history is being written by Elon Musk, of course. This was one of the biggest inventions of recent history. Have you watched this? Reusable rockets. Reusable rockets.
Relatively small rocket. Their sight's too low. They've really built relatively small rockets. And Falcon Heavy is the first time that there's something that's arguably even in the super heavy class, or somewhere between heavy and super heavy. 5 million pounds of thrust is really crazy amount of power. More than twice as much payload as any other rocket in the world. It can launch things direct to Pluto. No stop needed.
Parking lots are packed.
It's like the first time something exciting has happened in Falcon Heavy. We go for launch.
4, 3, 2. On their test flight, building on the history of safety. You heard it. Landing burn has started.
Gotcha, I see it. Yeah, I got him. You're there, you're right there. You've got to be kidding me! What? Okay. That's unreal. And the Falcon have landed.
So we are living in historical times, indeed. He first explained colonizing Mars in Mexico. This is a historical speech he did. You can watch it. And this is a sustainable city on the future Mars. So this is a design company designing the city, sustainable city on Mars. This is in Tempe Mansa in Mars. It is called Nuva. And you can read more. Okay, imagine that you are TripAdvisor, okay? TripAdvisor is asking top 3 things to try in Mars. What could be some of leisure, fun activities to be done on Mars? Do you have any ideas? Let's say you went to Mars, what will you be doing there for fun, leisure? You can explore Valle Marineris canyon system. This is 4,000 kilometers and 200 kilometers wide and have walls of 2 to 5 kilometers. This is the biggest canyon system in the solar system. What else? You can explore Olympus Mons. This is the largest volcano in the solar system. And you can watch Martian Olympics one day. This would be a feast. Why? Because you can jump 3 times higher, right? 1/3 of gravity. Remember, when you jump, you can jump 3 times higher. Yeah. When you throw a ball, you can throw 3 times further, right? So Mars Olympics will be a feast. Imagine you have gone to Mars. What would your typical day look like? Write a science fiction story. Just start it. Let's say you are an astronaut, explorer there. How would you spend your day? Just create a scenario, write it down. Okay. Or brainstorm possibilities. You can also write some ideas. National Geographic made a TV series on how humans make Mars home in 2033. It is on Netflix. What is the name of this series? You can watch it on Netflix. What's the name? Any guess? It's called Mars. Nothing too surprising.
Into the unknown. Explorers of a new world. That was part of the first mission.
Mission control. We're looking at a red planet.
A new hope for humanity.
Sky. Wonder. That is what we felt.
Creating a self-sustaining civilization on Mars would be the greatest adventure ever in human history. It would be so exciting to wake up in the morning and think that that's what's happening.
Right now, we're becoming a multiplanetary species.
With every hardship, I'm worried. I don't know about this. We were taking
immense risks.
We were taking a step forward for humankind. We spent all this time looking for something that will bring us all together.
Earth's surface is the shoreline of a new ocean. Hey, you ready for this?
Are you?
So it is 2 seasons. It is great. I binge watched it. So it's on Netflix. You can watch it. The first person might be Alyssa Carson. She is training herself to be the first person on Mars since she's a kid.
I first got interested in the idea of going to Mars when I was 3 years old.
And liftoff. Liftoff.
She wants to be the first or one of the first to go to Mars.
She's a regular kid with a dream that she's willing to pursue.
Spaceflight is very risky business. You have to take it serious, or you will die.
If the option was to go to Mars and never come back, I would still want to go and be a part of the mission.
So there are many kids like her. This is a documentary on Netflix, The Mars Generation.
Red leader checking in.
I was directly told that we cannot land on Mars before we do a med check.
Okay, pressure's going down.
Get them out of here.
We did.
All in a day's work. When we look at the night sky, we say to ourselves, are there any planets out there that are possible homes for humanity?
Space camp opened the path for me to do things that I really want to do.
Kids today have that same drive, that same passion that I had watching the first American launch into space.
High fives all around.
we've gotten to the moon, but it's a stepping stone to the red planet.
It would be so amazing to see the Martian surface with my own eyes.
Having a man or woman walk on Mars is just the most badass thought in my mind. It's been over 50 years since we've done something significant like this.
We don't really go to space anymore. People are losing touch with their human spirit.
We have an entire generation who want to go to Mars, but all of that will fall on hollow soil if there isn't some big mission where they can apply this enthusiasm.
Some people think it's fine to just stay on Earth forever, and some people don't.
Let's go out there and make discoveries. Let's change the world. Somebody from my generation will put their footprint in the Martian soil.
I can't think of a better thing to be defined by.
It's our duty to breathe fire into the imagination of these young people, because our true place is among the stars.
So, watch it. I'll finish here. Thank you so much for your attention. I'll see you in the seminars. Here is the QR code. There are some cupcakes. First come, first served. Please help yourself. Whoever gets it, okay? Please help yourself. So thank you so much. Have a great week, everyone. Please help yourself to these cupcakes and some cupcakes, everyone. Thank you so much. Have a great week, everyone. Enjoy.